In reality, the buffet is where more cruises quietly go downhill than almost anywhere else on board. Not because the food is bad, but because of how people eat it, when they eat it, and what they don't notice. One wrong decision at the buffet doesn't just ruin a meal, it can cost you shore days. It can land you in the medical center. It can lock you in your cabin for quarantine while everyone else is on vacation. But if you follow this checklist, in the right order, you'll eat cleaner, safer, smarter, and with far less stress than most passengers. This is Shipverse, and this is the phase-based buffet survival checklist most cruisers never learn. Do not skip ahead. Every phase protects the next. Phase 1: Eat timing intelligence. Purpose: avoid crowds, contamination, and rush decisions. Most buffet mistakes happen before you even touch a plate. Do not eat at peak buffet hours. Action: avoid the buffet during the first 60 minutes after opening and the last 30 minutes before closing. Why it matters: those windows are when food turnover, crowd density, and hygiene problems peak. What goes wrong if skipped? You deal with long lines, empty trays being refilled fast, and passengers rushing without washing hands. Pro tip: the cleanest buffet window is usually 90 minutes after opening, when the initial rush is gone but food is still fresh. Step 2V: never assume freshly opened means safest action. Give the buffet time to stabilize before eating. Why it matters: early trays are often staged quickly to meet demand, not quality. What goes wrong if skipped? You're more likely to eat food that hasn't reached proper temperature yet. Pro tip: if steam isn't visible and the tray looks untouched, that's not a good sign. That's a warning. Phase 2: first round observation. Purpose: inspect before you commit. Most passengers rush straight to food. You shouldn't. Step 3: walk the entire buffet once before serving yourself. Action: do a full loop without picking up food. Why it matters: this lets you spot fresh stations, busy areas, and low-risk options. What goes wrong if skipped? You load your plate with the worst items before seeing better choices. Pro tip: the busiest stations usually have the freshest food, not the prettiest trays. Step 4: watch passenger behavior, not the food labels. Action: observe how people are interacting with the buffet. Why it matters: hygiene failures come from people, not ingredients. What goes wrong if skipped? You grab food from a tray that's been touched, sneezed near, or mishandled. Pro tip: if you see passengers touching food directly or kids reaching over trays, skip that station entirely. Phase 30: hand and tool safety. Purpose: reduce germ transfer. This is where most people fail without realizing it. Step 5: wash your hands. Not just sanitize. Action: wash your hands with soap before entering the buffet. Why it matters: sanitizer doesn't remove grease, food residue, or some viruses. What goes wrong if skipped? You transfer contaminants directly to serving utensils. Pro tip: crew watch hand-washing stations closely. Passengers who skip them get flagged mentally, even if nothing is said. Step 16: never trust shared utensils blindly. Action: check utensils before using them. Why it matters: dropped or misused utensils are common. What goes wrong if skipped? You serve yourself with a spoon that just touched someone's mouth or plate. Pro tip: if a utensil handle is resting inside the food, don't eat that item. Period. Phase 40: food selection logic. Purpose: choose food that stays safe under buffet conditions. Some foods are risky by nature. Step 7: be cautious with cold foods. Action: limit creamy salads, seafood salads, and cut fruit. Why it matters: cold foods rely entirely on temperature control. What goes wrong if skipped? Improper chilling leads to bacterial growth fast. Pro tip: cold foods served in shallow trays are safer than deep ones. They chill evenly. Step 8: avoid mixed dishes late in service. Action: skip casseroles, stir fries, and mixed pastas near closing time. Why it matters: these sit longer and are harder to keep at safe temperatures. What goes wrong if skipped? You eat food that's been reheated or stirred repeatedly. Pro tip: plain, single-ingredient items are always safer than complex dishes. PS of 50. Temperar. Purpose: eat food that's truly hot or truly cold. Warm food is dangerous food. Step 9: eat hot food that is visibly hot. Action: choose items that are steaming or freshly served. Why it matters: heat kills bacteria. Lukewarm food grows it. What goes wrong if skipped? You consume food in the danger zone, temperature range. Pro tip: if the serving tray has condensation but no steam, skip it. Step 10: avoid heat lamps deception. Action: don't trust appearance alone. Why it matters: heat lamps make food look hot without keeping it safe. What goes wrong if skipped? You eat food that's been sitting too long. Pro tip: carved meats are safer than sliced meats. The interior stays hotter longer. Phase 6: port day buffet risks. Purpose: avoid the most overlooked danger windows. Step 11: be extra cautious on port days. Action: eat earlier or later, not right after all aboard time. Why it matters crew and passengers reboard at the same time, stressing food safety systems. What goes wrong if skipped, higher contamination risk from rush service. Pro tip, port day lunches have the highest reported illness rates on cruises. Phase 7, they dessert and drink traps. Purpose, avoid hidden risks people ignore. Step 12, choose desserts carefully. Action, skip cream-filled desserts unless freshly restocked. Why it matters? Dairy-based desserts spoil quickly. What goes wrong if skip sugar masks spoilage signs. Pro tip, baked desserts like cakes and cookies are safer than chilled ones. Step 13, watch self-serve drink stations. Action, avoid touching nozzles or ice scoops. Why it matters, these are high-contact surfaces. What goes wrong if skip cross-contamination from hands and cups. Pro tip, use cups to scoop ice only if crew explicitly allow it. Otherwise, skip ice entirely. Phase 80, portion and plate strategy. Purpose, reduce waste and exposure. Step 14, take smaller portions. First action, start with half portions. Why it matters, you reduce exposure time and waste. What goes wrong if skip large plates sit longer before eating? Pro tip, you can always go back. Safety improves with shorter plate time. Phase 19, exit awareness. Purpose, know when to walk away. Step 15, trust your instincts and leave when something feels off. Action, walk out if the buffet feels chaotic, dirty, or rushed. Why it matters, no meal is worth ruining your cruise. What goes wrong if skip, you ignore warning signs and pay for it later. Pro tip, the main dining room is almost always safer during high-risk buffet periods. Phase 10, common buffet traps to avoid. Purpose, lock in smart habits. Traps to avoid eating just because it's free, letting kids serve themselves unsupervised, ignoring temperature cues, trusting appearance over behavior, assuming crew will stop unsafe behavior instantly. Most buffet problems don't start in the kitchen. They start with passengers.